Hello, welcome to Kenty Primetime Finals edition. Paul Kent here to speak all things rugby league this week, and joined today by a couple of Rabbitohs, Jacob Host, Aston Ward. Thanks guys for coming along.
No worries, thanks for having us.
Good to be.
So what we're doing today, we're going to talk a little bit. We're going to do a little bit differently today. We're going to talk about really break down the finals. We're going to, as we work through the final series, we're going to start having a look at each week's games, who plays who, how they're going to address each game, how they're going to break down the opposition. We're going to get players who have played this year, and obviously we've got a couple of star attractions on today. So we're going to have a chat to them about all four finals games this weekend. Firstly, though, just a little bit of a chat. These guys, you're a Gerringong boy.
Gerringong line.
Gerringong line.
Played all my juniors there through 6s to 18s. Then come up through the Dragons junior system, Harold Matts, SG Ball, Jersey Flag, and then just this start of this pre-season, come over to the Rabbitohs.
Ah, right. It's not a bad place to learn your football, Gerringong.
Nah, it's something in the water down there. There's something in the water down. There's something in the water down there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, and Jacob, you're a Saints junior, but you're the old-fashioned Saints junior.
Yeah,
You're
correct.
actually original Saints. You're a Dragons
the OG
junior.
Saints, yes. Born and raised in Sydney, and
Yeah.
played all my juniors for a club called Renown United,
Yeah.
over in Oatley, and
Which
then
is very famous.
very famous, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of legends played
Was that
for
Reg
the Dragons.
Gazini's club?
Yeah, Reg, Mark, Jason Nightingale.
Yeah.
So it's a very historic club, that Renown United. Then played my juniors there, up much like Wardy, up through the ranks at the Dragons. Debuted there, spent 5 seasons, and then come across to South. And last 5 years at South's been pretty good.
How are you enjoying that?
It's good. It's the last year or so has been pretty tough with all the injuries and results. But yeah, like South is home for me at the moment. And it's been pretty good to learn off some of the best in the game.
Yeah. So you would have had Wayne, then you would have lost Wayne. Now you got Wayne back.
Got him back, yeah.
How's that been?
It was good. He was good when he come back, because he sort of pretty much knows the place inside and out. Albeit with the new facilities at Heffron. He's great. I've always got along well with Wayne, and he's very much a straight shooter. He'll tell you how it is, which is probably the best thing for a football player, because you don't want to have to be guessing or anything like that. You just want to know where you stand.
I think that's one of your secrets, isn't it, really, Wayne? Yeah. A lot of coaches, they get to that stage, they try to bullshit a little bit, and they play mind games.
Yeah.
You know, the couple of coaches, I won't sort of hop into any today, we'll keep it PG today, but a couple of coaches really like playing mind games with players. Yeah. And Wayne used to sit back and just sort of chuckle at them, because he's been the total opposite the whole way through. Straight up, this is the problem, mate, you need to fix this, mate, you did this great, which I think is what players appreciate.
Yeah, definitely.
100%.
Definitely.
Yeah, makes our lives easier, because we just know what we're going to work on, what he doesn't like.
How do you go as a young bloke with Wayne coming through?
No, he's been really good for me, Wayne.
Yeah.
Especially since I've cracked it.
Yeah.
The last few games, he's kept everything really simple for me. He's not trying to fill my head with too much bullshit. So, no, he's been really good for me.
Which I imagine as a young playmaker, that's important, that he's not overloading you with, mate, you got to look for this and you got to do that and make sure this happens and all the rest of it. Like, just go out and play your game.
No, that's right. He said stick to your strengths. You know, your running game, just the things you're good at, and let the rest take care of itself. Just be confident in yourself, which I feel like I did. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. It's harder when they say be confident in yourself. It's actually harder to do than it is to actually go. Than it sounds, doesn't it? Because
sounds simple.
Well, confidence is a hard thing. You can't just go and say, "Okay, I'm going to be confident." You got to. It's got to be built on something, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
And at the end of the day, what is confidence?
Yeah, true. Yeah. So let's just have a quick chat about the Rabbitohs, though. Like, tough year for you blokes. And at one point there, you're basically trotting out, respectfully, but it was nearly enough an A-grade side, wasn't it? There at different times, like there was not a lot of first grade game experience in the whole lineup. Yeah,
well, I think Wayne said it at the end of the year. He said there's a lot of players that probably wouldn't have got the experience hadn't there been the injuries. So it's got its perks. I guess it gives a lot of the younger boys a chance to see what it's like in the top grade. Yeah, and I guess he can see what we've got going forward. Yeah, but then like what you said, even last year, I think we had Frenchie and Shibasaki, who's now at the Broncos doing great things. They weren't even part of the team at all, and had to be brought in on like a bit of a part-time thing because we actually didn't have anyone to put on the field to fill the 17 spot. So yeah, it's been something I've literally never seen anything like it in any sort of sport. The injury toll the last 2 years. So hopefully we can sort it out. I don't know what it is. Might be the grass. I don't know.
There's all the conspiracy theories about what went wrong there at South. One of them was the training field at Heffron.
Yeah.
And whether that was for some reason, I don't know how. Personally, I don't see how that can be the case given the variety of injuries.
Yeah.
And the way they cause. Some happen in games at other grounds.
So the ghost of Redfern didn't like us moving.
Yeah. Well, mate, that might be a fair call too.
Yeah.
You might need to come and do like a smoking ceremony to get rid of all the evil spirits or something.
Yeah, we need it.
So, did you feel it like how did you feel coming into the side with all those injuries? Because one thing as a young kid coming into the side though is, yeah, great to get your crack and you're coming in, but you're also coming in when you're down on troops, you're down on strength, and you're starting to you look around and it's not like you've got like Latrell here and Cam Murray over there and those sorts of players. You're coming in with a squad that's going to be hard up against it in the game.
Well, even though Trell and that weren't playing, they were still really good for me.
Yeah.
Especially like off the field. You know, Trell flicked me a message before the games, you know, just giving me a bit of confidence, just saying all the boys have belief in you and,
that's nice,
you know, you're here for a reason. So, so just go out and do your thing. But, no, it's been good to play with the younger boys as well. You know, everyone's pretty fresh. So it's not like, you know, you can kind of just bounce off each other. But no, it's been good fun.
That's one thing that does happen though. That it brings enthusiasm, bringing all those young blokes in, doesn't it? Like everyone realises they're getting an opportunity, and this is their chance really to show what they can do.
Yeah, and we just run off the coattails of them. It's good.
Could you feel it starting to go wrong there this year though? Like when you get Cameron Murray breaks down before the season even begins. That's unfortunate, but stuff like that happens. But then as the season starts to roll on and, suddenly you lose this guy and then this guy, and you start to sit there and think, geez, what's going on here? Like, was there a discussion at training about what's going on with all these injuries?
Yeah, a little bit. Like, as well, not only the fact that, like, it affects the team performance, but, like, they're your mates that are getting hurt. So you have that care factor as well. Like, and it's a bit disheartening. I remember the session when Cam went down just before we were leaving to go to Mudgee for the Charity Shield, and it was like, it was honestly like a family member passed away. It was honestly devastating because we know how hard Cam works every single year to put himself in the best possible shape, and he's the leader of the club. He's the club captain. He's the most respected man in the building. So it's like, it's devastating to see that. And then as it continues to pile on, it's like, wow, you just can't believe it's happening. And then I think it does have a mental and emotional effect on each of the players, because it's like, well, these are guys that we're closest mates with. We go to battle with every week, and they're not able to do what they love. And it plays a factor in so many different aspects as well. Not only just like, all right, sweet, we haven't got this player. It's like, well, now it's like we have to like worry about how they're doing with their mental health, because we have a genuine care for each other at the team, which is something that's the strength at South. Like, everyone has a genuine care for each other.
How'd you keep the emotionally up then as a club? Like the blokes that were still going out and playing, training every week. I can imagine you're walking past the gym, the guys are in there doing rehab. You've got like a representative side basically in there doing their rehab. But how did you keep up? Like did Wayne? Knowing what you know of Wayne, did he put in a lot more effort? Did you see Wayne sort of try harder to pick you up, or were other guys doing things like that?
I think that like Wayne's unreal with helping the boys with that kind of stuff. He's the head of the snake figuratively, and he's the one that's sort of the barometer for all of us. And he knows, he's been around the game for that long. He understands the players and the people that are in the building. And then like what Wardy said earlier, like you got the older boys, they're still there present. They're still part of the group, even though they might be doing some sort of rehab. They're still lifting the boys up.
They're coming into the meetings, like they're still involving themselves. Like us younger boys, it's still feels like they're there, but they're not, I guess.
And what sort of help do they give you during the season? Like as you're, when you started to play, and you said like the Latrell sent you a text message, but imagine there's times on the paddock when you're doing a bit of work that guys are sitting there watching from the sidelines or whatever, and they would have been like, what sort of things were they helping you through with?
No, especially Codes. He was really good for me as well. Even though he's injured, he was coming onto the field, just sort of standing behind me, just giving me little tips and tricks, just to, sharpen up my game a little bit. And then away from the game, even doing video and stuff, he's in there sitting with us,
Yeah.
you know, just giving us little tips and points, which was really helpful as well.
That'd be invaluable, I reckon.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, because one thing about Cody, he knows footy, doesn't he?
He's like a coach.
Yeah.
He's like a coach.
Yeah.
Well, that's what he wants to do when he's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what sort of kind of things did he sort of just talk us through? You're on the field, he's standing behind you. What's he saying in your ear behind?
Oh, just little things to say. We're just doing like edge v edge sort of stuff. He's just in behind, straighten up a little bit here, and you'll get this person to bite in on the decoy, so it frees up a bit of space out the back. Just little things, and once you do it, you just notice how big of a difference it makes, and then but not just for yourself, but for the people that are inside and outside you as well. Yeah, but he's got a good footy brain, old Codes.
Yeah.
He's a smart player. I'll give it to him.
Yeah. He'd be nearly double your age, wouldn't he?
Oh, probably.
We're allowed to say that.
The fossil.
Yeah.
But he's going around again next year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's one of those blokes, and there's a few around, they could play till they're 40 if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Like, he's just got that ability to go and ball play. It
He's
doesn't
just-
matter. It
he's-
doesn't matter how slow he runs.
Yeah.
He's still able.
That's the
you know
thing.
what
He's
I mean?
still quick. He's still
Oh,
off
yeah.
like out
Yeah.
the back of shape. When we were doing like what Wardy said, edge on edge, defending him as a back rower, it's so difficult because he just knows exactly where his body's got to be and how to not only manipulate the attack, but how to manipulate the defensive line. So you might have to check on a lead a little bit longer, and then it's like, all right, sweet, I can't get off and defend him. So he's just so smart, and he's still got that competitive edge on him as well.
Do you reckon when Alex finally breaks that record, he's going to give buy like Cody a new car or something like that?
Surely.
He's got to give him something. Hasn't he? Buy him a watch.
90% of his tries.
I'll tell you, I don't know if Alex wants to hear this, and Chines will have to go out there, and he's Alex's manager, for those that don't know. He might have to go out and do a bit of work. When Tom Brady won one of his Super Bowls, he went out and bought his whole offensive line, who protected him all season, bought them all a Rolex. So, Alex, that might be on you.
I don't know if he'd want to put his hand in his pocket that much. It's hard enough getting a coffee out of him.
I can imagine.
Game starts in 2. Got to be quick.
You need something quick? I got something blistering. 5 for 25 from PointsBet. It's like hot sauce, but for sport. 5 taps, and it's on.
Yeah, that's hard.
Aw, thanks, babe.
5 for 25, only available on PointsBet. Yeah, that's built different. Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
So what we're going to do, we're going to have a chat today. We're going to go through the 4 finals games this week, okay? So Friday night we've got the Melbourne versus the Bulldogs. Then Saturday we've got the 2 games. We've got the Cronulla and the Roosters, and who's the other game? We've got, let me look at it, Warriors and Penrith. I should have known that. And then on Sunday, obviously, we've got Canberra and Brisbane down there. So we're going to go through and have a look at each team and how they're sort of going to play, and how they're going to break down each other's game this weekend, what we think we should be looking at, who we think's probably going to win the game, all those sorts of things. Obviously, Melbourne Bulldogs first game. Let's have a chat about that. Canterbury nearly got the Melbourne last time they played. Played very strongly. Can we expect the same again, do you think? Are they going to be? Are they in the same spot, Canterbury? They've been a bit on and off, haven't they?
Yeah, I think that's what they've sort of struggled the last part of the year, is that consistency. Obviously, bringing Galvin in, it's a new combination in the halves, which is the hardest thing to overcome, is when there's not that familiarity of each other's game. But yeah, I think the Bulldogs' strength, I feel, is the speed of their pack. They play a very up-tempo, quick game. They've got very mobile forwards, which it's this day and age, it's like the play the ball speeds are unbelievable, and the way that they can not only get behind the ball early, they're able to shift the ball, and they've got kick out in the back row with Preston, who's been playing some of the best football of a back row in the comp. Yeah, I think that's the way that they'd probably think about. They want to play up tempo against a bigger Melbourne pack, albeit without Nelson. So yeah, it'd be. I think they'll be in the fight for sure, if not love it.
So is that going to be the battle? So essentially, when you sit down and you're trying to figure out who wins this game, you're going to have Canterbury, who through the middle play fast, up tempo, plenty of energy. Their defence requires a lot of energy. Melbourne are going to try, and sort of almost it's a bit of a paradox, really. Melbourne, to overcome that, is they actually attack that.
Yeah.
And they will just keep driving through the middle, turn the ball inside, and hopefully wear them down. And then you find yourself a little bit of space. Last 15 minutes of the game, so to speak. That's generally the theory.
Yeah, Melbourne don't care if they win by 2; they just want to win. And then if that happens in the last 2 minutes, that's even better for them.
Yeah. So, like, how tough is that from a halfback running that sort of thing? Like, if, again, you've got it's an interesting situation with the halves this week because you've got obviously Galvin there, but you also got Wishart's been named in the 7 jersey for Melbourne, and obviously he's. There's still debate whether he'll start. Some people think Peasant might actually start the game, even though he's named on the bench. But it's on them. It's generally the halfback. He's the one that's going to be driving that.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like the halfback has that stigma of it's the head of the snake, like OC said.
Yeah.
But I feel like Melbourne are such a completion and possession sort of team that they just kick the corners. They're just so in your face. They're like line speed. They're just like they attack with their defense. Sorry. But I feel like Bulldogs are pretty similar as well. Like OC said, they're a smaller but more mobile, like mobile pack. So yeah, no, I think it'll be a good game.
So let's just talk it through then. So the way the game starts, Melbourne are going to go, okay, we've got the big guys. We're going to go right through the middle of you, and we're going to keep coming through the middle of you, and we're going to wear you down. Canberra have got smaller, fitter, you could argue, more mobile. They're going to say, okay, we're going to play high energy. We're going to play fast. We're going to play faster than what you guys want to play, and we're going to wear you down that way. What point does one team get the ascension over the other?
Yeah, I think for the Bulldogs,
like how do you win the battle there?
Yeah, I think it's keeping the bigger middles for Melbourne making decisions under fatigue. Like the longer the ball stays in play and the more decisions they have to make, it's going to happen where they're going to make a mistake.
Yep.
And then it's like we said, it's a bit of a paradox because then Melbourne's going to be trying to run through the front door, make them wear them and get some beat up bodies through the middle. So it's gonna be interesting to see how it sort of all plays out because they're not too dissimilar, but they're also it's like there's some very very like strengths and weaknesses on each side that sort of work out with each other.
They've got to kind of play the same way, but for different reasons.
Yeah,
aren't they?
exactly.
Like they're both going to try and just go through the middle. One's going to wear each other out. One through speed and
skill,
fitness, and the other one through basically size and power.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like the Bulldogs are going to start turning around. They're now that Galvin's been in the team for a couple months now. He's got a more of a voice. He's pulling the strings a bit more. I think that's the team to beat. I still think that's the Bulldogs.
Yeah. The team to beat.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
That's my call.
Yeah. That's fair call. No, look, for much of the season, half the season anyway, they were the bench setters, weren't they?
Yeah.
They were leading the way.
Jerome Hughes is a big loss for the Storm, I reckon.
Yeah.
Like Wishart and Pezza are pretty good like fill-ins, but I think Hughes, he was really the head of the attack for the Storm, and alongside him, I mean, Storm got a pretty good spine, but I feel like without Hughes there might, dent their premiership hopes a little bit, I reckon.
Well, they get Harry Grant back this week, though. They haven't had him the past few weeks. They've been a bit out of sorts. I could think you could argue Melbourne the last few weeks. Obviously adjusting to who's in and who's out. Harry Grant comes there. How much does he change things in there? Particularly, it's going to have to do a lot more, I imagine, now with Hughes out.
Well, he pretty much dictates the ruck for Melbourne. I reckon he's a younger version of a Cam Smith. He's just super smart. He obviously learned under him for a number of years, so there's no one better for him to learn off. And over the years playing against him, he's tough, very very tough player. So I guess he'll probably take a bit more of the pressure off the halves for Melbourne and bring the middles onto the ball a bit more and sort of like what we said, going through that front door. Yeah.
Do Melbourne go to that old game plan they had when they had Smith and Cooper Cronk as a hooker and halfback, and obviously Cooper was a very good player as well, but Cameron clearly ran the team, he ran the sets. He called the players and he drove it all. That changed a little bit, I imagine, with when Hughes came in, and to your point, Aston, he was running the attack.
Yeah.
But does Craig Bellamy go back and find an old
tape?
an old notebook from 5 years ago?
It wouldn't hurt.
Where Cameron Smith was running the team and say, okay, this is how we did it, and sort of put this sort of. I imagine it's only a subtle shift, but there has to be a shift, hasn't there?
Yeah,
yeah.
I think Munster will be.
Yeah,
well, he'll be in for a huge final series.
Yeah.
Now that especially Hughes is. Yeah, I feel like he'll take on a bigger role.
Yeah,
and then you see with him when it comes to State of Origin and stuff when he takes on that bigger role, and
he always stands up.
Yeah, he always stands up, and he's always usually the best player on the field by a long shot. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's like that again. To be honest,
that's the thing about Munster, isn't it? He's a bit of a. He's a scallywag, and he gets a bit loose every now and then.
That's the scariest thing as a defender.
Yeah,
honestly. Yeah.
But he understands also though the moment.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like it's like he goes out and plays. Yeah, we're playing, but then it's like, mate, we need you this week.
Yeah.
And when he recognises that, he just becomes a different footballer again.
100%. You can turn it on. It's like a switch.
Yeah, he don't know what he's gonna do. He's just so dangerous. Just run, pass, kick. He does it all.
Yeah.
And
he's
strong.
He'll run
He's
backwards
strong
if
too,
he has to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't care.
Yeah,
he's a good player.
But he has, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Like he's so unorthodox.
Yeah.
How do you sit down and when you're playing Melbourne, and you go through and you look at particularly the spine, like Melbourne in many ways probably changed the game because back after the salary cap, particularly after that scandal, when they had to reshape their whole salary cap because of they had to get rid of players and the rest of it, and the fact that they let Inglis go and kept Cooper Cronk, Billy, and obviously Billy is fullback, and Inglis was playing the centres, and Cameron Smith. And they put all their money into that spine, which and the way Craig Bellamy coached around a team with basically part-time actors, so to speak, in all the other positions, but just had this championship spine. And it was so successful that a lot of other clubs, well, it's generally the way the footy's played these days, you got to get your spine right.
Yep.
Like when you sit down now and you're looking at this Melbourne spine, and you've got Munster there, and this week it'll be Wishart or Pezzett with. We don't know quite yet. Harry Grant, and again, fullback's probably going to be an issue this week. Is it Meany? Who was named fullback this week?
I think actually
I think it might be. Yeah.
I think it might be Meany.
Anyway, but how do you go breaking down that? Like, how do you go down? How do you combat Melbourne coming at you like that?
Yeah. Well, it's like what you said with Munster. He's so unpredictable, so you got to be ready for anything as an edge. When we do, it's almost a specific edge to edge, and then the middle will break down the middle.
Yeah.
I think it's just the you can't let them get a roll on, because they're obviously going to play off the back of any speed and any half breaks from the middle. I think that's the main focus, to control their size, so then you don't have Munster coming at you when you're still retreating back in the defensive line, because that's, again, you give him time and space. It's like, all right, it's just the biggest recipe for disaster. But yeah, it's just with that, it's almost a damage control kind of thing. You're just literally just trying to, again, control, so they're not getting upstream. Harry Grant loves getting up out of when it's one marker, or if there's no markers, even better for him. It's identifying when there's any ruck speed, so you got to close in, so there's not any space behind the ruck. It's identifying when they want to shift early, so you're not coming out of the line by yourself and then giving Munster any space, or Wishart's a strong runner as well. And then obviously not having Pappenhausen at the back is hard, because he's one of the most speedy and skillful players in the game. Which takes away from their kick returns. But then you've got Coates on the wing, you've got Warbrick, two aerial threats. It's like, you sort of look at it and you're like, all right, what do we have?
What do you do here?
Yeah.
But when that happens though, like you say, recognise it. So they're coming on the back of momentum through the middle. who calls that from your side? Like, who says, "Hang on, guys"? Yeah, it's like say say Nelson, who won't be playing this week, but say Nelson pokes his head through and gets a little bit of momentum, quick play of the ball, and then they're coming. As a team, who like, is that a collective thing?
I feel like it's more probably the edges because you get probably a better view looking into the middle.
So they call it out and you'll put
and we should
react and listen to the call.
Back rolls, halves, centres, wingers. It's sort of our job to identify when the ruck's getting quick. So we just got to tighten our line up. If they're going to go anywhere, they're going to try and go around us. But yeah. Because that's when Harry Grant when he gets the roll on, he's hard to stop as well.
Yeah.
You get those middles pushing inside and outside him. Yeah.
The worst thing you want is middles overthinking defensively because they've been in the washing machine for however long.
Yeah. So they're always just getting told what to do.
Just listen.
Yeah,
well, that's why I just listen to him and then I just pass the message on.
Yeah. Well, that's the way it happens, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, they missed they will miss him. But how much will they miss Nelson this week?
Oh, he's a giant of a human. I think when he is on, he's the most destructive forward in the game. He's such a big body. He moves fairly well for a big body too, and he's got offloads in him. So it's like I know whenever I'm playing and he's not on the team sheet, I'm pretty stoked.
Yeah. How disappointed? Obviously, like how disappointed would Melbourne be in him? Do you think, given he missed the grand final last year because of suspension? He got suspended earlier, only a bit over a month ago. They had a couple of weeks out. He's just got back, and he's gone again. And now, if he plays again, it'll be grand final day, and that would take, I imagine, a great leap of faith from Craig Bellamy to pick him grand final day. But Melbourne have lost a pretty significant player through the middle that they would have been relying on. So does that, as a team, does that knock you around a little bit, losing a player like that?
I think Melbourne are from the outside looking in. Obviously, I don't know. They're in a sort of sanctum, but they look like they're a team that's prides themselves on discipline. Yeah. Bellamy sort of demands high standards from his players, it seems like. So I guess that would be something that they're a bit disappointed with, I guess. But and he, like what you said, he's a big pivotal player for their middle pack as well.
I'd be expecting whoever comes in for him though to do a job. I guess I don't know who it is or who it will be.
It's a hard job to fill though, isn't it?
Yeah,
like, not many blokes
definitely.
walk in at 6'7", say I can
140 kilos, I'm guessing.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You're talking about Canberra, and let's have a look at them. Like, you're talking about Galvin coming in, and you were saying that you think he's getting used to it now. He's starting to come to grips with it. As a halfback yourself, and coming into a side, what are the difficulties you face coming into a bit of a newer environment? I know you've sort of been trained in the systems, you've spent the week doing it, all the rest of it, but just that fitting into the side, slotting in, and just feeling part of it, and like, how tough can that be?
I reckon definitely for the first few weeks, you're still getting used to your combinations, so I still think that he would have found that the first few weeks would have been tough, because obviously everyone plays different, so you got to try and find what people like and what people don't like. But like Coach said, I think he's found his spot there now. And I think it'll be good this final series, really. Yeah.
What makes you think that?
I just think he's probably a bit more confident in himself now. I feel like his first few weeks he might not have been as being confident in that in that new team. So I think just a confidence base. He's probably got more belief in himself, and the players probably believe in him. Seeing him the last few weeks, seeing what he can do. Yeah,
they've put a lot of work into him, but he's still not a natural halfback, is he? Like he's
a ball runner,
he's more a ball runner than a playmaker and all the rest of it. The typical halfback, so to speak. Is that a big transition?
For sure, I think as well. Like going from a team like the Tigers who expect him to run the ball more. Whereas now he's distributing it a lot more to his edges. He's got a lot of strike weapons out wide. I think as well, it's just like like what Wardy said, you get confidence from, I guess, being in a team longer, and then he's expected to sort of steer the team around the park with that expectation in the halves, and it's probably something that is his next step in his career. And I think it's that's sort of I guess, the progression that he's been expected of to come into Canterbury. It's a successful club for the year. Have had a lot of success to start. So I think as well, like going back to just playing his strengths as well, he's a strong ball runner. I know whenever we've done any sort of review on him, he's a very strong ball runner. So you have to honour that first before you actually think about who he could be passing the ball to. And then you look at his edges. Like they got great back rows, great centres and wingers. It's like there's a threat out there on that as well. Yeah. So yeah, he's and like I guess everything sort of takes time. Wardy came into the team, and a young fella coming into the team, it's never simple. It's never easy. You got to sort of not only earn your confidence in yourself, but you got to earn the trust of the boys around you. So I think he's had a big job of earning the trust of the Dogs team, because he's come from somewhere else mid-year. It's not the easiest task in the world, but I think he's I think he's more than up for it. He's a very skillful young player and a massive future ahead of him.
When that was all happening this season, and it began with him saying of Tigers, no, I'm not going to stay, I want to go elsewhere. It was basically a done deal at Parramatta until Canterbury came in right at the last minute and got hold of him. He went to Canterbury, they were leading the competition. I think it was leading the competition at the time that he got there. Sexton lasted a few weeks, got moved on. Then a little bit later, we saw Reid Marnie's been moved on to the bench. Bailey Hayward's been starting at hooker, which are pretty substantial positional changes halfway through a season. And it's Cameron Ciraldo tinkering with his team, saying, you know what, I think this is the team that's going to win this grand final. What was it like everywhere else in clubland? I imagine every other NRL club are looking at this going, Jesus, what's going on here?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I imagine there would have been a lot of talk like at your club, at other clubs, all around the game about what's happening over here at Canterbury, because it was an unusual situation, wasn't it? Like, were you guys... Was that a fair bit of conversation at times?
At first, because I didn't think Toby Sexton was playing. Like, I thought he was playing pretty good. Like, obviously they were sitting first, so being the halfback, he must be playing pretty well. Yeah. So it was a bit of a shock when Toby Sexton got dropped. I thought they might have played Galvin as more of like a come off the bench, like a middle forward, at least just for this year while they still got Sexton there. Like
a floating sort of lock position or something like that.
That's what I thought they were going to use him as. And then obviously Reid Marnie, he wasn't having a too bad year either. And then they've moved him onto the bench and moved Bailey Hayward, who was playing more of as a ball playing lock role. I'm not sure how much hooker he's played. I think he was a half coming up. So it's ballsy moves by
were you guys talking about at South training? Like, was there guys like going, oh, geez, what's going on there? And
a little bit more worried about ourselves at the time. But no, you're right. It's like you don't see it too often where they make these massive changes to a spine midway through a year when there's already so much success. Like, you'd think it's more teams that are down the bottom that are like, all right, we need to change something, not team that's leading the comp midway through the years. But I guess that's their future plans they're looking for, and they wanted to sort of put it in straight away. So, I mean, look, they're still playing in the top 4 spot. Well, they finished second or third?
Third.
I'd be happy with a third spot.
Yeah, well, second or third's irrelevant, really, isn't it? They win that, and I think so. The other thing too is I think if they win, they're on the opposite side to Penrith, which I think is going to help because
I think Penrith are a scary team in the finals.
Yeah, they're the other two. Who do you think wins between those two? Both of them got to play better than what they have been, I imagine. Yeah, Melbourne and Canterbury. Yeah, in recent weeks, both have got to probably go to another level to have any confidence about winning the game. Who do you think wins this game?
I think the Storm. Yeah. I still think with their foot, like, yes, Nelson's out, but I think they've got the bigger forward pack. They'll look to go through the front door early. Yeah, and then use their bigger, more versatile, mobile edges later in the halves, especially with Harry Grant back at hooker. Yeah, I think that'll just be too good, to be honest.
I think missing a 7-1 hurts too much. I reckon the Dogs.
Yeah. All right, 1-1, eh? All right, so we talked about Penrith, and that's probably the one game I think a lot of us. Yeah, the poor old Warriors, that you don't want to sound like you're shit kicking them because they've had a really strong year, but particularly losing Metcalf, they've just been a different side since they've lost him, haven't they?
Yeah. He's a big loss. One of the form players at the comp at a stage. And I
think he was up, if he wasn't leading at Dally M's, he was second close, second or third. And he was having one of those banner seasons.
Yeah. And they sort of, I guess the Warriors are a team that play with a lot of momentum, and when things are going great, things are going great. Yeah. So, Yeah, I guess they've sort of had a bit of an inconsistent finish to the year. A couple of games they should have won, they didn't, and a couple of games they might have or shouldn't have. Like, didn't look like winning. Like the Newcastle game, that one of the most incredible finishes I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's I think especially seeing a Penrith team in the finals where they've sort of turned their season around, I think it's daunting for anyone.
What would Andrew Webster having? So the funny thing about this weekend, you've got Andrew Webster against Ivan Cleary. Now Andrew Webster was his assistant. You've got Craig Fitzgibbon against Trent Robinson. Craig Fitzgibbon was Trent Robinson's assistant. And then you got Michael Maguire against Ricky Stewart. And in recent years, although they didn't have the relationship that the previous two four had, they worked together at Canberra. So there's a fair bit of intimate knowledge here.
Training, yeah.
You know what I mean? But Andrew Webster, and it's, Ivan recognised how good he was a coach when he ended up at West Tigers. So when Ivan left West Tigers to go to Penrith, he took Webster with him. And Webster was there for the first two premierships that Penrith won. He was there for the grand final that they lost in 2020. Now, he's gone to the Warriors, and I think he's transformed them in many ways. The Warriors were always a bit of a flighty team, could absolutely destroy you, and then just fall asleep in the last 15 minutes and get beat. But they've become far more consistent, energetic. That defensive system that Penrith seem to, I don't know if they invented it, but that Penrith do better than anybody else. He's taken that to the Warriors. And for the first half of the season, their defence was terrific. Yeah. But they've fallen away a little bit. They've probably got to do with a couple of injuries they've had. Mitch Barnett, I think, has overestimated how much
100%,
his loss is. What do you think it is with the Warriors? Is it Mitch Barnett? Is it simple as Mitch Barnett and now Luke Metcalf out of the side, or something else also gone wrong there that they've just dropped away a little bit from where they were midway through the season?
They've got a pretty young team as well, similar to what we had by the end of the year. So maybe just that, I don't know, lack of experience or just people not being there that, know what to do when in those sorts of games. Like Hosty said, they're tight and could go any way. Just that little bit of experience that may
to make the right call.
Call. But
and to talk to your point too about the length of the season, it is a bit of a campaign getting through the season, but particularly if you're, a lot of the season guys they know it, they plan for it, they know the different points during the year. They got to cop their rest when they can get it because they know how long it's going to be. Whereas the young kids, it's all new. It's exciting, and they go and then suddenly they start to burn out a bit, and they're not quite sure why, but it's because of the energy it's taken all year. The Warriors are a little bit like that. Their energy's probably dropped a little bit.
And then you have, like what we were saying earlier, Mitch Barnett's that hard-nosed leader who's going to put his head where players don't want to put their feet. So having him in the pack, like he was, before he got injured, like I reckon one of the front runners of the comp, unbelievable in that Origin game. And I think he was a massive loss to the Blues. I think one of the reasons that they weren't able to seal out the series. And having him in the middle where he's been around for however long, very experienced player, played in rep games. He knows exactly what you said. Like, he knows when to turn it up a notch or when to sort of ease back a bit. And like he's a tough player, so he leads by example, and he sort of bring the young forward pack with him, which I think the Warriors were the back end of the season sort of crying out for that. And then again, you lose Metcalf, who is the player that was pulling all the strings.
He just had such a wonderful season.
Unbelievable season. Yeah, watching it was pretty cool to watch as well. Like a bit of admiration from an opposition player. So it's good.
What about Fisher Harris? What do you think he's got to say for Penrith this week?
He's got all the tricks, surely. I think he'd be for him. I think going up against the next an old team where you were so successful for such a long period, it's going to be a big occasion.
Won 4 comps there, so
and he was a massive part of that that whole 5 years of success and the 4 wins. So I think it'd be a big game for him. He'd be definitely trying to get the troops up.
What do you reckon Penrith are thinking about Fisher Harris?
Take him out of the game.
Yeah, especially I think Leota, his bash brother. I think there's gonna be some big hits and some running it straight at each other, I reckon.
Yeah. There's an old sort of philosophy only as rugby league can. They used to, Phil Gould used to, when he was coaching Origin, he showed him a scene one day in Origin, a team, a clip from the movie The Patriot. I don't know if you remember it. Mel Gibson movie, Heath Ledger's in it. It's about the Civil War. And they go to, anyway, part of the movie is they're talking about, he's got Mel Gibson's the father of these kids, and they're going to go and they're going to attack an army, like a little regiment that's marching through. And he's teaching them how to shoot and all the rest of it. And he said, right, when you fire a shot, he said, who do you shoot? And he said, the general. He said, because when you shoot the general, the troops scatter.
Yeah.
Gould stopped the video at that point. And he turned around to the New South Wales Origin team. And he said, boys, Webke's their general. So that was the game where Danny Badiris sprinted 50 metres off kickoff and smashed into Webke.
Yeah.
And they spent the whole game just bashing Webke. As talented as all the rest were, they had Lockyer and all the rest of them. But Webke was the guy who spiritually they fed off.
Yeah.
And so that was the point of it all. And I'm guessing Fisher Harris this week, it's against his old team. He's the guy that's going to say, you know what, follow me.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
And Penrith are going to recognise that as well. And to your point, yeah, Smash Brother, they're gonna find each other, and it's going to be pretty willing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially with no Barnett to sort of help that load a little bit.
Yeah.
So Fisher Harris has got to take on a bit more, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's gonna have to have a big game, I reckon, because they're gonna be after him definitely.
How do the Warriors improve enough to beat Penrith?
I think they got to rely on their fans over there too.
Yeah.
There'll be a lot of energy in the stands.
Oh, there'll be plenty. Yeah.
So it's a big occasion. Obviously, the Warriors fans are probably some of the best in the game when it comes to getting behind their team, and
Yeah.
I think they sold out every single game this year at home. So I think that's the energy from that is something they'll have to rely on as well. But yeah, they've still got a lot of skill. They're the young back rower.
Halasuma?
Yeah, crazy. 19 years old.
What a
and
weapon
some of the
he
stuff he does is. I think it's maybe that Penrith aren't wanting to defend some of that sort of skill. Bit of second phase play could probably hurt Penrith in that aspect, and I think I think it's going to be a game where they're going to have to rely on their younger players because they're the ones that are going to be out there and doing battle. So it's going to be interesting to see. I think it'll be a good game.
Yeah,
It's a bit of a double-edged sword, though,
Yeah.
the second phase with the
Could go
Warriors,
horribly
because
wrong.
they can be
Yeah.
great at it.
Oh,
Yeah.
But when it goes bad for them, they don't have. Well, previously they haven't had the discipline to say, you know what, let's pull it back in and just be a little bit more conservative because we're too many balls are going to the ground. We're not getting through our sets. We need to get to the kick, and it can bring them undone. But when it's working for them, like there's no better team to watch.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially with a team like Penrith, if it's not going well for you, that's the last team you want to be giving all that good ball to.
Yeah,
So,
and they're traditionally a high completion team too.
Yeah.
They just want to grind you out of the game, and if you just turn the ball over in good field position, it's like a death sentence.
yeah, it's all over.
What's it feel like when you get into that sort of wrestle with Penrith and you're sitting there and you go, oh, mate, like these guys, 5 tackles, Nathan puts it in the corner, you get the ball back, they start bashing up in attack, like when you've got the ball in attack as well, then they get the ball back again, another 5 tackles back in the corner. Like, do you ever sit there and just think, oh, just run the ball on
drop
the
the ball
fifth,
something.
just drop the ball somewhere.
Do
Like,
something you don't do.
it must frustrate you because they're so good at it. They're so diligent and they're so
They've done it for
consistent with
so many years consistently.
Yeah.
They're
Mm.
I think they're smart about it as well.
They don't panic, do they?
They never do, and they're very reliant on their back five for getting themselves out of trouble. If you sort of watch that, they got Toto, they got Dill Edwards, who'll take 2 carries a set.
Yeah.
And it's they're dynamic out the back, so their forwards don't have to travel as far to get behind the ball, and then they're probably not as expected to take as many yardage carries. So they can have that energy in defence and keep a team inside their 40. Yeah. And then they're having to kick long and chase, which is then again more space for Dylan Edwards and Brian Toto to come out and create more damage, and it's just a snowball effect. It just keeps going. They're happy to literally just keep trucking it up and making you have to come out of your end until you break. And and then you panic and you're like, all right, sweet, we've got to do something else because it's not working. Yeah. And then that's when the errors come.
That's when they get a lot of tunes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Guys, this ain't working. Let's ping it wide.
Yeah. That's always smart, isn't it?
You know, but eventually someone does, doesn't they?
Yeah.
They just, it's like they you wouldn't want to get in a blinking contest with them, you know what I mean? Because you'll blink first. Like, that's just the way that's
the way they've played for the last 5 years, and it's worked.
Yeah. Do they? Yeah. The big thing about them, which I've maintained for a while, and a few others feel similar. Yeah, this whole thing, you can't win the comp from outside the 4. They're the team that's going to do it.
Yeah.
Like this team right now, if anyone's going to break that rule, this is the team that'll do it. Fair to say?
Yeah, absolutely. They've been there the last couple of years now. They know how to win a comp.
Yeah.
So
they'll just have to win one extra game, I guess, on the way.
Yeah, that's right.
And now it's really important. They don't have one injury.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everyone's got something bust at this point of the year, right? They're good as gold.
Yeah.
So I tell you what, like this will be one of those things you look back on and you think, well, mate, why didn't we pick that? They won the previous 4 comps. They went into the final series without injuries.
Yeah.
And it's really essentially one extra game they've got to win.
Yeah. And I know for sure not a single team in the top 8 wanted to see them creep in.
Yeah.
As long as Cleary's there, I don't.
Well, round 12, they're running last.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Like,
It's extraordinary, isn't it?
We were sitting there looking at it like, how's this happened and gone from 5 grand finals in a row, 4 wins, and then it's like, how are you sitting at the bottom? And then they just like flick the switch, turn around, just like that.
So you think they'll just grind them this weekend? Do you both see Penrith win?
Yeah,
I can see a Penrith win. They're just gonna play. It's perfect for their game. They just want to kick long, chase hard, keep them in their corner,
and let the Warriors self-destruct a little bit. Do you think they'll just sort of
play off the back of their experience?
Just have just stay in the contest, stay consistent. Don't do anything that we don't need to do. And at some point, the Warriors will go, mate, we need to do something a bit special here to try and change momentum or whatever.
Yeah.
Make a mistake, and that's where they pounce.
Cleary will pick his times, when either the Warriors make their mistakes or, Cleary's that good. He picks and chooses when he wants to insert himself into the game.
As a young halfback, what do you get from when you watch him play?
Oh, he's good. He's good.
Do you watch him and think, do you learn things from him when you're watching?
I try to nitpick stuff out of his game and try to, introduce.
Because everyone borrows from everyone. That's the nature of the game. Like you see some guy doing something well, you think, I'll try that.
Yeah. And just the little stuff in his game, like he's doing that with his kick now, where he angles it towards it, like for the 40-20 kick, he just turns a little bit into his hands just to get that curl into the sideline. Yeah. Just little stuff like that. You just watch him, and it's just amazing. He's the best in the world, and then he just keeps on getting better. It's pretty crazy, to be honest.
It's nuts, isn't it? Do you think it'll be a close game, or do you think they might put a few points on him?
I think they might.
Yeah, I think the first 10 minutes. I think the first 10 minutes will tell a story of how the game's going to go. Yeah. But I think I don't know. I think it'll be a high scoring game. Yeah,
because the worrying thing last week was Andrew Webster. One thing he said before they played last week was he wanted to see intensity out of them, semi-final intensity, and they didn't deliver that. Yeah, which was concerning. I think if that's the one message your coach one thing he wants to see, and they didn't deliver that. They were just fairly pedestrian, I think, in their intensity. It was another club game for them, which you want to sort of see them in that round 27. You want to see them starting to step up.
Yeah. But then again, in saying that,
a bit like Cronulla did.
They're a team that can sort of, I guess, that's their excitement that can sort of start building a momentum. If they do build momentum early, it could be something that unlocks them a bit. So, I can see Penrith win. That's. I think they're just going to play a simple game and drag the Warriors down into the deep end. Yeah.
Hey everyone, welcome to PointsBet Hot or Not. We're going to go through this weekend's games. Going to give you my thoughts on who I think's hot, who I think's not. So you might want to stay away from those ones. But let's see how we go. First up, look, this is a very difficult game. Bulldogs versus Melbourne. I think Melbourne will win the game, but Bulldogs are $2.50, given the fact that they are playing against the Melbourne side without Jerome Hughes, without Ryan Pappenhausen. I know they're away, but they really took it to Melbourne last time they played. So I think Bulldogs at $2.50 is probably the value bet in that game. So with a very tricky game to bet on, that to me is the way I'll be going. Bulldogs $2.50 to win the game. Next game of the weekend. Look, this is a difficult one. I think Penrith are in a really good spot this weekend. They are really hot, the Panthers. So, look, you can't go wrong by backing them this weekend. I've gone for a multi this game. I like Penrith by 9.5 points that they're giving away. I think they'll get the margin there. I think they'll be over 42.5 points scored. I know it's a night game, but I still think there's going to be a lot of points scored. And I really like Casey McLean as a try scorer. Now, he is running hot at the moment. He's 4 tries in his last 5 games. That's $4.64, the multi there. I think it's good value there. I think it's a game Penrith will get by a score. So Casey McLean, Penrith to put on a score, $4.64, jump on. Later Saturday night, Cronulla take on the Sydney Roosters. Now, this is a tough one to pick a winner in. Really hard to sort of see which way this game will go, to be honest. One thing I am pretty certain about is that the outside backs in both teams are running very hot at the moment. So I've had a look at the try scorers, how they've been going in recent weeks. Obviously, Mark Nawangatu-Nawasi. You put him in a multi with Daniel Tupou, into Ronaldo Militalo, into Iro. That's $9.90. I know not all 4 wingers, 3 or 4 wingers, 1 centre, but Iro has been playing tremendous football. He is really a try scoring machine. So the 4 of them, provided there's plenty of points a game, $9.90, I think it's tremendous value. Last game of the weekend, I've gone a little bit wide here, but one guy who you would have to say has been run hot, Simi Sasangi. He's not a name that rolls off the tongue when you think of try scorers, but he has an ability to get over the try line. He's a bit of an unorthodox player. He's been playing a little bit of centres when there's been a few injuries here and there. He's also been very devastating in the back row, running on the edges there. I put him in a multi with Ethan Strange. Sasangi's paying $5 on his own. Ethan Strange paying $3.40. Together, the multi's $13.28. In a game that's going to be a nice, bright, warm, hopefully warm Sunday afternoon in Canberra. Plenty of ball movement, plenty of points scored. I think that $13.28 is nice value for 2 players to get over, Simi Sasangi and Ethan Strange. So there you are, PointsBet's Hot or Not, brought to you by PointsBet, built different.
Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
Cronulla shocked a lot of people last week. Were you guys shocked at the way they played? Like, their intensity was, probably haven't seen it all year, to be fair, but they went out, and particularly defensively, they went out and just really stepped it up.
Yeah, I think
they were really, really impressive.
they must have got a spray from Fitzy for sure.
Yeah. But fair call, though.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I think that's what their fans have sort of been crying out for a little while, to see that edge of them. And I guess they probably haven't been too pleased with the last couple final series they've had. So I think this is a big chance for him to step up. Obviously, Nico got off with his charge. So
Trindle's back.
And having Trindle back is a big bonus. I think he's been very good for him this year.
Big thing last week I thought was a bit of a clue. I spoke to a couple of mates about it. Was Cronulla were training and they had big loudspeakers there putting out the Bulldogs call.
Yeah.
So they're getting ready for it, which, the whole scheme of things, maybe not that big a deal, but what it sort of indicated to me was that they were thinking differently about the game.
Yeah.
And so just having that, as you guys can appreciate, just having that there at training just makes it suddenly different.
Yeah.
Suddenly
it's a little attention to detail kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And suddenly so all those little things in your head start to click in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bigger game this week, got to be on. Got to look at. You know what I mean? And then it manifested itself into that. Like, their defense was very, very good. Like, they were full on and they were intense. And suddenly you thought, you know what? Here's a team that can win semi-finals, because until last weekend, I think they're going to go the way that Cronulla have traditionally gone in the last few years, is
Back door.
Out the back door. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, even when we played them up in
Gosford.
it was very much a defensive game. There wasn't too much like attacking flair, I guess. It's sort of
But you both dominated them.
We brought them down. Yeah, we brought them to. We sort of just like, all right, we know the game we're going to play, and we brought them into our game, which helped us, and it ended up being a 2-point loss in the end or something like that.
Yeah, but they had no right to win that game, really, given the way.
Yeah,
I think did you outscore them too? Was it try-wise?
3 tries to 2 or something like that.
Yeah,
something like that.
It was one for you blokes. It was one that got away. That
it
was like you guys were undeserving losers.
Yeah,
that day.
but like again, we had a lot of players out too, so it was it was a little victory in the loss, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I think if they can put it all together, that's something they've sort of struggled to do. In the past, you get Nico control the team and steer him around the park. They've got a great forward pack. Adam Fanua-Blake's top forward. They got the strong edges in Nakora and can't remember the other Teague. That's it. Yeah, it's a strong. And then their OBs are great. Like they're so dynamic. So it's like if they can just put it all together in a game like they did on the weekend, it's like, well, that's what you don't want to see in the finals.
Their back five are so dangerous.
Yeah.
I remember when we did.
They're big too, aren't they?
Big. And they're
deceptively big.
Yeah, and they're not afraid to move the ball from anywhere. I know Kennedy, he's really dangerous out of the back, like kicking. If you're not putting a straight line against him, he finds cracks.
Yeah.
And he's a good player. All right,
Yeah, they're not afraid to link up too.
Yeah. The effort from Cronulla last week, will that be enough to beat the Roosters this week? If they play the same way?
The Roosters have been on the up for a little bit, haven't they? Yeah. So I think it's
because they're in good shape, the Roosters.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. It's the way they're going to have to play. Because the Roosters are going to come up tempo. They're going to come with a lot of intensity and aggression through their middle third. And then like from what we saw on the weekend, two of the most dynamic wingers in terms of aerial threat. It's like, you gotta try and keep them away from the try line, because they're just going to kick it across, and he's either Mark or Toops is going to jump over someone to score. Yeah. So it's I think it's going to be a field position sort of game for Cronulla. Just try and keep the Roosters down there and as much as possible. Yeah.
Because Walker's got such a great kicking game too, hasn't he? Like,
he's smart as well.
Short
And
he's so unorthodox the way he just looks at the defensive line. Like you know what I love about him? Everyone's got their shapes and how they play, and he plays to it. But sometimes he'll tease the defense. Like he'll get opposite and he'll look at you, and he'll sit there and he'll be like, "Well, I'm going to wait to see what you do before I do what I do." Yeah, which is generally. You've got your how you're going to play. You know what shape you're going to run. You know who you're going to pass the ball to, and you're just basically waiting till you're in position that you've trained for all week. Whereas he just sometimes he's so unorthodox. Yeah. He'll sort of wait. Okay, look around, and he almost waits for someone to bite.
Yeah, he's not afraid of like we said, drift across the field and wait for someone to come out.
Just wait for one bloke to lose discipline and think, okay, I've got him. Come out. Yeah. And as soon as he does, that's when he goes bang. He's got you.
So off the cuff, and he's no matter what tackle like he is on the tackle count, he's not afraid to do anything. Like we're doing video on him, he's not afraid to kick it on second tackle, put a little grubber in behind. So you just got to be so on the ball with him because he's a good player and he can just do whatever he wants whenever he wants. So yeah.
He's phenomenal to watch. Like I think he's a joy to watch because you just sit there and I just love the way he just looks at the opposition and just almost dares you. Okay, who's going to be the bloke that's going to step out of the line and come at me? And
that's it. He's a smaller player, so he's sort of like begging one of the big boys, like, "All right, I'm here. You can get me a free shot."
Yeah. I imagine that'd be just a mongrel to defend.
Absolutely, Like especially like they got some good middles as well. They love having ball in hand, and then if you're defending shape, I know as a back rower, you've got to check the middle lead and then get off and defend him out the back. And it's like, well, you got Spencer Leniu running a lead on your inside shoulder. You got to honour that and then check off and try and get Sam Walker, who's making it up on the spot sometimes. And it's like, where you just got to sort of rely on your teammates around you that no one's going to come out of the line or that you're not going to make a wrong decision. So it's going to be. It's going to be a tough job for the four defenders for Cronulla.
Craig Fitzgibbon spent a lot of time as Trent Robinson's assistant, many, many years there. How much will they be trying to outthink each other this week as head coaches now, trying to figure out, okay, well, we play this way, they play that way, but they know we play this way, and they know that I know they play that way. Yeah. Like, how much of those head games get played in your preparation in a team where the coaches are so comfortable and knowledgeable of each other?
I think it's hard because you obviously don't want to go away from your team's identity. What's got you there? Yeah. Like the way you play is like you've made a semi-final playing the way you have all year. You don't want to go away from it too much. Like obviously you're gonna look at the other team's strengths and try and neutralize them as much as possible. But like when it comes to like the way that you play, you sort of don't want to drift too far away from it, if that makes sense. Like you might have every so often have like a play that you've identified, maybe the 3 defender gets above ahead of the line, and it's like, all right, we can get a sort of an overs line behind in that space where they've sort of disconnected a bit. I know Sam Walker, from video we've done on him, he sort of does it. He likes to get ahead of the line a bit to sort of spook defenders back into the middle. Maybe there's some sort of pop line that they can sort of run into that. But yeah, I don't think they'd try and drift too far away from the game that they've been playing throughout the year, because then you sort of can lose your own strengths.
So how will they try and beat each other this week? Like what's what's Cronulla's game plan to beat the Roosters?
Just power. I think
power through.
Yeah, with their big middles and their big outside backs. I think then Blake Brayley getting out and dictating terms with his middles, because he's been playing. He's been probably one of the
Nico's playing good footy again though. Like he's the last 3 weeks particularly been very strong.
Then Braden Trindle back
running the ball again. Trindle's back.
So
the band's back together.
There's no better time for Cronulla. I guess, so it's I think it's going to be a tough game. Like this is probably one of the hardest games to pick. Of the finals this weekend. So it's going to be. I reckon it'll be one of the top games.
And the Roosters will attack Cronulla how?
Aerial threats on the wings. That's their go. And then I think their big middles of like, it's just trying to keep it tight through the middle defensively for them. Because Cronulla probably, I think that, like what you said, they're going to sort of try and go through the front door as well. Is Brayley the key, or is Nico the key for Cronulla? I think Brayley's the key.
I think Brayley too.
And Sam's the key for Roosters.
Absolutely,
If Brayley unlocks that middle, that opens it up for Nico. But if if Brayley's not getting those middles onto the ball, and they're not getting quick play balls and generating ruck speed, then I don't think that allows Nico to do his thing with his running game and his passing game on the edges. So I think Brayley will sort of unlock Nico after those first 10, 15 minutes. If Cronulla are dominating that middle with Brayley, then I think Nico will find his own and he'll be able to dictate terms with his running, his kicking game.
So who's your tip?
It's going to be a high-scoring game. I don't think
we're allowed to say the Roosters, are we?
Yeah, so I better be careful. I think
it's an easy one then. All right, Sunday's game. Again, two teams that in many ways are kind of similar styles, aren't they? Like they got that bit of grunt through the middle. And Raiders got these sensational backs at the moment.
They've been really impressive.
They're doing unbelievable things there. Like I suppose the big thing this comes down to, at least the Raiders have got experience in the forwards. They've got no experience really in the back line. As far as big games as such, like they've got young kids coming through. Brisbane have got, I think they're finally, funnily enough, the halves combination at the moment seems to be working quite well with, Billy Walker's at 6. Who would have thought that, given how they started the season with all their halves? But they seem to be going well, and then they've got Carrigan and Haas up front who are tough. Them up against, we don't know if Papali's going to play, but we think he will. But he's in the moon boot still as we speak. And then obviously Tapane, like that's going to be pretty ferocious in the middle there too, isn't it?
Yeah, the Canberra pack is one of the best packs I've probably ever seen. In that they're so dynamic but also so powerful. And then like what you said, the OBs for Canberra, just speed everywhere, and it's like you can't coach that. It's just they're at you at every second of the game, and it's footwork, it's skill, it's they're like coming at you at pace. You got to make decisions under fatigue, and they can just run around
so
you.
Fast too, aren't
and
they?
Like Ethan Strange, I think, has been one of the most impressive players this competition. And then he's full of confidence because of the way he's finished the season as well. I think he could potentially find himself in an Ashes team. So it's going to be a top game. And then, like we said, Broncos have got Carrigan and Haas just literally leading the way through the middle. And it's like they're pretty good to play off the back of, I could imagine.
You said that the Canberra pack's one of the best you've seen. I don't know if a lot of people really appreciate how good this Canberra pack is. Like, what makes this pack so damaging to play against?
I think it's just they've got a combination of everything. They've got Tapane, who's big, fast, skillful. You got Papali, who's been their leader for the last 15 years and one of the toughest players to go out of the game. You got Hudson Young, who's a form backer of the comp for the last 3 years.
Just turned into try scoring
loves
machine.
scoring tries, doubles every week. And then off the back of it, it's like like
Smithies.
that's what you Smithies is they're just bringing players, like they're all just coming through and just running amok. You had the young back row that came in when there was injuries. Can't remember his name, but he come in and then he's done a job for him. So it's they've just got that punch across the whole pack. It's quite special to see, I guess. And I'd be happy as a half run off the back of those guys.
Absolutely.
And Fogarty's done a great job of just steering them around, hasn't he? Like
he's not doing too much, but
just kicks the ball. Like he's finally sort of understood, I think, how important kicking is. Like he's always been a good kicker of the ball, obviously, but his kick selection has just been almost ideal for what they in every situation. It's almost every time. Like Ricky Stewart was probably the best kicker of the football that we've seen. To be fair, and not just his ability to put with the big kicks and all the rest of it, but his ability to have the right kick at the right time. And you talked a little bit before about what Penrith do and how Nathan putting the ball in the corner. Like Ricky was he was the architect of all that. He sort of invented in his own special way doing all that sort of business. And Fogarty sort of finally caught on to that, and they have a really, really good kicking game. They're not quite the aerial threat that say the Roosters are or Storm are, but by the same token, their kicking game it just complements their whole skill set.
I think that's why Strange is also playing so well as well, because he's kind of taken that burden off his back that he just kind of, probably keeps his game a bit simpler. I'm taking the line to run,
give me the ball.
Or I'm, using my edges with my ball playing, and he doesn't have to worry about, his end of set finishes with his kicking, because obviously Fogarty's taking care of that.
Yeah.
So, I think that's also why Strange is playing the way he is.
He's a strong little bugger too, Strange.
Yeah.
He's
he just does bench presses all day. Like
it looks like it. He breaks tackles left, right, and centre.
When did you guys start to think? Because everyone had Canberra at best sort of sitting around 9th, 8th. Some had them running last. A lot of people had them bottom 4. Like, when did you as players sit there and think, hang on, there's something different about this team? Like, there's something pretty special going on here, because for them to win the minor premiership's just extraordinary, given that they weren't. Most people had them not finishing the 8.
Yeah,
I think even though they were sitting up the top for majority of the year, they still flew pretty under the radar.
People still had doubts about them, didn't they?
Yeah, they were sort of like expecting a drop off to come.
Everyone was waiting for it to happen. They've been very lucky with injuries. I will say that. Like they've used less players this year than any other team, which is really beneficial. But also, if you actually go back and look through the history of premiership winners, traditionally they all don't use a lot of players during the season. The teams that generally can keep them together and keep them on the field generally fare pretty well.
Yeah. I think it was. I remember sitting down and watching the Vegas games at the start of the year and thinking, when they played the Warriors and they were like just so dynamic across the field, it was like they could run straight through the middle, they could shift to an edge and find space out there with their speed. It was like I just remember sitting there thinking, like, they're sort of, if they can keep doing this week in, week out, they're going to be hard to beat, and that's exactly what they've done.
Yeah, absolutely. Because there was a bit of a thought too that the Vegas was, maybe they're just up for Vegas excited.
And then they just sort of kept it the whole year. It's
haven't lost it at all, have they?
Yeah, and then it's like we played them down there in Canberra, and it was tight first half, and they just ran away with it the second half. Yeah, it's like they've got it. Yeah, like they've just got it across the park.
Yeah, I imagine playing too. There's times you just look up and think, "Oh shit, here they go again." You know what I mean? Like you just they're spinning it out wide, and Savage or Weeks or whoever's grabbing the ball, and you're thinking, "Oh no, here we go."
Yeah. It's like I've got to get kick chase and go after these guys.
So they've always been that team that's been like always pretty good defensively. Like they're a gritty team, but like the additions of KO Weeks, Ethan Strange, Hudson Young, I think they've been huge from this year, just adding that little bit of attacking flair, which is what they probably needed to be where they're at now, because they've always been that team that's pretty gritty and like in defence and stuff, but
I think
they've just added that attacking flair this year.
I think their back rows too, like Hosking and Hudson Young, like two very skillful back rowers. They're tough. They get through the hard yards, but also like look at some of the tries that Hosking set up or scored himself. Like pretty skillful.
Got a
and
nice
then you
little offload. Hosking,
yeah, great offload and then good
like
pass.
He's been talking to his dad.
Yeah. And then Hudson Young is one of the most damaging ball runners and just seems to always be in the right place at the right time in terms of like just being there for tries. So yeah, I think they've just at they've all just sort of come together and it's playing into form at the right time. So if they can do it, they'll probably do it this year.
Yeah, Brisbane hit form last week. It's sort of been a little bit out of sorts for much of the year, and we've sort of been trying to figure out what they look like, and we all know what they can be like, but they've been hard to get consistency in their game. And then all of a sudden last week it just clicked.
Yeah.
And Reece Walsh was just Reece Walsh. You know what I mean? It's like everything that we've wanted to see out of Reece Walsh and everyone's been talking about all year, we saw it last week. The stuff we knew was there, and the stuff that we didn't want to see there wasn't there. Like he was on last week, and they, a bit like CRONULLA, they just hit form at the right time. Is it going to be hard for them to get there again this week? Do you think the Broncos?
Yeah, I think Walsh is their barometer for where they're going to go for the game.
Yeah.
I think he can be a little bit guilty of trying too much, too hard.
Yeah.
He's so fast, so skillful, but maybe sometimes he's thinking too many things at once.
Yeah.
And then might not choose the right option. But I think you know exactly what you're going to get out of Haas and Carrigan in the forwards, and then like what you said earlier with Walters in the halves, it's sort of simpled up the game a little bit for him. I think
he's almost playing like Strange a little bit. You know what I mean? He's not trying to.
not trying to do too much.
He's not trying to do too much. Just give me the ball. I'll run. I'll pass when I have to. Like, you know what I mean? Like
do the simple plays.
He's just
Yeah, I think and then I think that you just got a sort of a simple game for Brisbane is probably their best thing. They don't be trying to score every time you touch the ball. Like be happy to kick the corners, chase hard, keep them in their field position, and then back to skill of your players as the game goes on.
Yeah, I'm thinking this week. Yeah, knowing Ricky the way I do, and looking at the way Reece Walsh plays, I reckon he's in for a torrid time this week. I reckon they're going to be sledging him.
Yeah, they'll be challenging him for sure.
They'll try and get in his head, I reckon.
Yeah.
And I think Walsh has shown in the past, if you get in his head, that's when the mistakes start to come out. He begins to overplay a little bit. So I think the Raiders are really going to concentrate on that. I'm sure Maguire was aware of that, and he'll be telling Walsh to just keep cool and don't let things bother you. But like, fair call to say that they'll be in his head.
The Raiders know that if they can keep a handle on Walsh, they go very close to winning that game. Yeah. So I think they'll do anything in their will to put him off his game, whether it's, I don't know.
They're pretty good on the sledge too, the Raiders.
Yeah. They learn from the best.
They learn from the best, yeah. So they can get a bit personal.
Yeah. And yeah, exactly. I know you don't want to get dragged into that kind of stuff.
But do you think Walsh is the key to the game, to the who wins?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think if he's on, he's probably one of the best in the world, I reckon.
Yeah.
Just his decision making with his passes or his running game, he's electric with his footwork. And he's also brought that little kicking game. Yeah. He's kicking 40-20s. He's he's a left footer, so he's holding that left side of the field, putting them into the corner if they need him to. So I think he'll be huge for the Broncos this week.
Given they play like reasonably similar type of game, is that fair to say?
Yeah.
They play reasonably similar. Like when you're in a contest like that, is that just a matter of just saying, okay, they're going to do what they do, we're going to do what we do, and it's just we've just got to do it longer and stay disciplined and stay in it?
Yeah.
Is it simple as that, or do you say we know what they're going to do and we're going to do that, but we're going to try and do a little bit extra somewhere, or like do you look for a little trick play, or do you look for something outside the expected to try and grab the win? Like, how do you approach that game?
I think falling in the trap of trying to do something you're not usually doing is always a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people that try and overcomplicate the game. Like what you said, it's doing what you do well for longer. The first team to blink usually is the team that usually concedes the most, and then if you can just keep doing that, you can keep building up and getting through your game. I know that
it comes a moment, doesn't there?
Yeah,
where
there's moments you got to take.
Like you start to get the upper hand.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like I think early on, at least in games, you got to be thinking field position. You got to be thinking, all right, we want them coming out of their end as much as possible, making their forwards have to travel to get back behind the ball, making their backs have to take tough carries, not giving them space on kick chase, not giving them a chance to link up so they can find little gaps on tired chases in defence. So yeah, I think like what you said, it's just doing what you do well for longer. That's the recipe, I think, especially for semi-final football.
Definitely.
How do you see this game going?
I'm going to go Canberra.
Yeah.
I think they've just been one of the form teams for too long, and they know their identity better than anyone. They've stuck to it the whole year, and then, like what you said, they haven't had any injuries. So that's
Which
what
I
I'm
think it's
thinking.
been overlooked a little bit too, because you don't realise how important that is until you look back after it all over. It's all over, and you say, you know what, like they barely made a change.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they lost I've forgotten his bloody name, the winger, and they brought Tamale back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's just a weapon himself. Like he's got the mentality of a front rower.
Yeah.
You know, like he's one of the aggressive wingers in the game.
I had a bit to do with him at the Dragons and doing like wrestle sessions and seeing him in the gym and stuff. Oh my god, he's honestly a dead set front rower, but he's got the footwork. He's light and quick.
Yeah,
he
thinks like a front rower, doesn't he? Everything's a fight.
Just tackle breaks. He's just so strong, like up top and down, like with his legs. So he's if you have 2 or 3 on him, he's breaks many tackles.
Yeah. Where do you see the game going?
Well, I think with Reynolds and Mam out, I think they're just probably going to rely a bit too much on Walsh, and if he's not up, doesn't play the way that he can, I think Canberra will just be too good.
What about the nerves? Is that an issue for Canberra? Like they're in a funny spot. They've had no expectation. Suddenly they're minor premiers. They're in a position they haven't been. None of these players have been in.
Yeah,
like not one of them's been where they're at a minor premier at the NRL team. Papali's played for 15 years or so.
Yeah,
never finished minor premier. I think he's only finished top 4 once.
Yeah. I think if there's anyone you want as your coach in that situation, it's probably Ricky.
Yeah.
One of the most successful players, sort of done it all and done it for Canberra too. So he can understand the situation that they're in and the moment that's sort of coming up for them.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that he would have been doing plenty to sort of get them mentally prepared for that and the expectation that sort of comes with being the minor premiers and being in that spot. So yeah, I think they're not in too bad of a spot for that.
And playing at home helps too.
Basically.
Maintains that consistency and sort of makes things normal as they can be.
Yeah,
anyway.
Exactly. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. All right, mate. That's been great. I really enjoyed having a chat about that.
No, thanks for having us on. It's been
good.
You guys will be signed up by the big networks. Yeah,
please.
All right. Well, I just want to thank you both for coming in. It's been an education. So good luck with next year. I know you're going to have a big off season. Mate, you're going to have to put some weight on. 73 kilos is too small for a halfback. But other than that, mate, you're going terrific. Mate, you've had another good year. And good luck with everything next year.
Thank you.
Let's hope the Rabbitohs add to the book of feuds next year and have a big, strong season. So thanks very much for coming in.
Thanks for having us.